Cowboys and the Jets. The Jets trying to pick up their first win of the season. They're 0-4 for the first time since 2020. Got to turn things around on a short week after losing to the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. And meanwhile, the Cowboys are coming off of a tie with the Packers. Dak, though, is kind of looking like an MVP, but the Cowboys defense certainly is not doing him any favors at all. It is all going down on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's preview this matchup, and we have the guys. Pete Prisco. I got your name right, actually. Oh, my gosh. What's going on today?
Easy for you to say.
Words are hard, I know. And Lige Duzable. We're going to preview this matchup, guys, starting with, of course, the Jets, because they're about how he's been playing. He leads the league in passing yards. Dak looks fantastic. We saw sort of like vintage Dak running into the end zone there against the Packers. Lige, I hate to say it, but it feels like it's almost being wasted, right? With a one-win team.
It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Because he is playing MVP-type football right now, and because of one side of the football, a lot of people aren't talking about it. Like, he literally has to go into games thinking, I have to score 40 for us to win games. That's how deficient that defense has been on that side of the ball. Now, Trayvon Diggs came back after being banged up a little bit in the Chicago game. He made a few plays in the tackling game. We saw James Houston come off and make a big sack and get a forced fumble, and they score off of that.
They're going to get
guys back. Deron Bland, his first game back last week. You would think this week he'd be a lot better.
Correct. He's going to come back.
You would hope.
Sean's going to come back.
Yeah, you would hope the defense, as the season progresses, gets a little bit better, and that these performances from Dak Prescott aren't wasted.
But Hooker's out now. So
yeah, that was tough. The foot thing.
Now you got a backup safety. And look, Dak has been fantastic. And Dak, and I say this a lot, but I really believe it. I think Dak is one of the most underappreciated players.
Without a doubt.
And it's because he's got the star in his helmet.
100%.
I just don't get it. Remember, the last time he played a full season before, going into this season, he led the league in touchdown passes, and yet people don't give him the credit he deserves. Dak Prescott is a good guy. The players like him. He has great success throwing it. I think he's underappreciated, and I think he's showing people that. He goes in every game. See, this could be good or bad if you're a quarterback. You go into every game knowing I have to score at least 30 to win the game.
Maybe 40.
And play loose and free. So if you're a quarterback, you go in, okay, I like it that way. Or you go in and you press, but he's not pressing one bit. He's playing loose and free, and I love everything about it. Could you imagine him playing this way with the starting offensive line in front of him and CeeDee Lamb over there with George Pickens and the tight end? That, and by the way, the running game has been good.
It's been really good with Javonte Williams.
So I think we haven't seen the best of the Cowboys offense yet.
Okay, and on the flip side of that, I know we talked about the defense, right? And it's just not been great. And you're saying, hey, they're going to get some guys back, right? So it should get better throughout the season. The second most points per game allowed in the NFL entering Week 5. Pete, how do you get better? Like, what is step one into getting that once you do start getting those guys back?
Well, I think we've seen through the course of the first 4 weeks, we've seen a lot of bust in the secondary and a lot of bad plays in the secondary. And you mentioned it. Diggs was coming back off an injury. He's now getting more used to being on the field again. Bland came back off an injury. He's going to be used to being on the field. So your corner group will be better. When you get Ravel back, he'll get into the mix as well. Then you go to the busts, and that's just communication. Donovan Wilson has not played very well on the back end. He's, I always joke around about playing in concrete shoes, and he's looked like it, and they don't move very well back there. So they got to be better on the back end. Not having Hooker hurts them. Every team, look, those two guys are up in the years a little bit.
Yeah.
Every team has a young safety. Good teams, you'd like to develop a young safety that you can step in. You draft him in the 4th round. He can run. He can go sideline to sideline. You put him in there at some point, and maybe they can do that. Thomas is going to start playing now without.
I'm looking forward to him playing. Let's not forget he had that big field goal block to give them the extra 2 points on the extra point.
Yep.
He's a guy that in his career he's been a spot starter, a really good special teams ace, but he's been a spot starter. But he's always provided a little juice when he comes on defense because he plays with energy. So I'm excited for him to get his opportunity. I think another thing that we have to talk about, and it was the big storyline this offseason, right? Lack of pass rush, right? They traded away Micah Parsons, and for a secondary that's struggling, the best friend for them is somebody that can affect the quarterback without having to send extra people, and they have not been able to affect the quarterback. We talked about James Houston getting that sack fumble, but besides that, Jordan Love was not touched in that game the other night. So I think that's the biggest issue, too, with the woes on defense. They have not been able to consistently get a pass rush to affect the opposite quarterback.
Well, they thought the young guys would be the pass rush, and they haven't developed. I mean,
Sam Williams has played pretty good, but besides him,
the rest of those guys haven't played very well, and that's the big concern right now. You trade away Micah Parsons thinking that the young guys would take the step forward, and they haven't.
Okay, and let's get a pick. Cowboys 2.5-point favorites at the Jets. Ligeia, I will give you the honor. This is your team.
I can't wait to hear this one.
I'm taking the Cowboys -2.
Okay.
We talked about it earlier, Pete. The way this Cowboys offense is playing, from what we've seen on tape so far, I don't believe the Jets can stop them. And then adversely, the Jets have been able to run the ball, but can they push the ball down the field to stay with Dak Prescott? I don't see it right now. Give me the Cowboys -2.5.
Look, you have 4 units. 2 of them are really bad on the 2 defenses, and 1 offense is really good, and the other one's just okay. I'll take the offense that's really good as well. I'll take Dak Prescott. I think he's going to push for that MVP even further in this game and put up big numbers. I'll take the Cowboys.
All right, so the guys are rolling with the Cowboys.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's Victor here with Dallas Cowboys Today. And boy, do I have a Blockbuster rumor for y'all. The Tennessee Titans are 0-4. They're sinking fast. Their head coach Brian Callahan is already on the hot seat. And guess what? The buzz right now is that Jeffery Simmons, yes, the all-pro monster defensive tackle, could be on the move to the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, Cowboys Nation. We're talking about one of the nastiest, most disruptive interior linemen in the entire NFL possibly coming to Big D. Let's break this all down, why this makes sense, what it would cost, and what it would mean for America's team. The Titans are collapsing. Look, the Titans are sitting at 0-4. Their defense looks overmatched, their offense is going nowhere, and the front office knows the season is basically done before October. When that happens, teams start thinking about selling off veterans, stockpiling draft picks, and planning for the future. And Jeffery Simmons? He's still in his prime, but he's also on a big contract, and Tennessee might just see him as a piece they can flip for valuable assets. So you've got a great player stuck on a bad team. And that's when contenders like the Cowboys pick up the phone. The Cowboys' defensive need. Now let's bring it back to Dallas. Ever since Jerry shocked the world and traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, this defense has looked incomplete. Don't get me wrong, Kenny Clark was a huge addition in that deal, and he's been solid up front. But the truth is, we're still missing that other dominant force inside who can wreck double teams and free up everyone else. Through 3 games, the Cowboys ranked just 21st in sacks, 5 total. Compare that to last season when Micah alone had 14 by year's end. The pass rush isn't collapsing pockets like it used to, and our linebackers are paying the price in coverage. This is where Jeffery Simmons comes in. Jeffery Simmons by the numbers. Let's talk facts. 2-time Pro Bowler, 23 sacks in the last 3 seasons combined, 33 tackles for loss since 2021, constant double team attention, yet still disruptive. This dude is 6'4", 305 pounds, and plays with the kind of violence at the point of attack that changes games. Pair him with Kenny Clark, and suddenly you're looking at one of the scariest interior duos in the league. Offensive coordinators wouldn't sleep at night knowing they've got to block both Clark and Simmons while still accounting for DeMarcus Lawrence coming off the edge. So here's what the chatter looks like. Cowboys receive Jeffery Simmons. Titans receive either a 2nd and 3rd round pick or possibly a 1st rounder. Now let's remember, Dallas has extra draft ammo because of that Micah Parsons trade. Jerry has the assets to swing this. And honestly, a late first for a guy like Simmons is worth it. You're not gambling on potential, you're getting a proven star. This move wouldn't just be about filling a hole, it would be a message to the entire NFC. The Cowboys are still all in. The fit in Big D, think about this defense. DT, Kenny Clark. Jeffery Simmons. Edge, DeMarcus Lawrence. CB, Darren Bland, who already has 2 picks this year. Safety rotation, versatile, athletic, opportunistic. That's a recipe for turnovers, for chaos, for that swagger we've been missing. Simmons isn't Micah Parsons, but he brings back that intimidation factor that left when Micah got shipped to Green Bay. And y'all know how Jerry works. He doesn't like sitting in the middle. He either wants to win now or he's making headlines. A Simmons trade does both. Now, let's be fair here. It's not all sunshine and roses. Simmons has had some injury history. He's got a big contract number. The Titans will want premium picks. But if you're the Cowboys, you can't afford to play scared. You already admitted you're retooling by trading Parsons. But you also said you're still trying to compete now. You can't do both halfway. If you want to compete, Simmons is your guy. Cowboys Nation, I'll say this. Adding Jeffery Simmons would instantly give Dallas one of the best defensive interiors in the NFL. It would keep this team competitive in the NFC playoff picture, even after losing Micah. And it would prove Jerry still has the fire to go all in when the opportunity is there. So I gotta know. Should Jerry Jones pick up the phone and trade for Jeffery Simmons right now? Or should the Cowboys hold on to those picks and stay patient with the rebuild? Hit the comments, let me know what y'all think. Smash that like button if you believe Dallas needs to make this move. And don't forget to subscribe to Dallas Cowboys Today for daily updates, rumors, and straight talk about America's team. I'm Victor, and you already know. How about them Cowboys?